Okay, we get this, and now we can multiply and then divide. No, excuse me, I think I misspoke. Here we're looking for PMT. So basically this was all equal to 500,000. So we get 500,000 equals, all this. So we still have 500,000 equal to this. Here we divide. That's where we get this number from. And now we divide again because PMT is our unknown. Now, in the end, I'm going to round this to 2 decimal places. That's why I'm using way more than 2. I'm using, looks like 6 here. So, you want to use as many decimal places as you can. If you use 4 or 6, that should be fine. So this is how much we get. So this is our monthly deposit. I mean, rounding it to 2 decimal places, we get about $658.44. That's what we get here, actually. Let me just add that in. Quickly add that in. Good. Okay. I know I should have rounded before that slide, but again, I mean, this is the right answer, but you want to round it to 2 decimal places. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. For the TVM solver now, we can use that as well. And we can use the TVM solver to solve this as well, right? Now, again, here we want to have $500,000 in 20 years. And again, the interest rate is 10%. And just like before, of course, we're looking for the monthly deposit. We don't know what that is. So 20 years down the road, we want to have $500,000. That's why our future value is $500,000. That's what FB stands for. Okay. Let me get the TVM solver loaded. Comes. Okay. Let me go through the slide first, then we'll go through it. So again, $500,000. PMT, again, that's what we're looking for. And as I said before, for FV, that stands for future value. How much will be in the account in the future? $500,000 in this case. PMT is our monthly deposit. That's what we want to know. Capital I is the interest, but we leave it as a percent though. Now that's just what they do in the TVM solver. Capital N, it's little n times t, which is, it's basically the total number of compounding periods in the situation, or how many times the account is compounded. That's better. How many times in total the account is compounded, which in this case is 12 times 20, right? It's monthly because we're making monthly deposits. So the account is compounded monthly. It's going on so that's 12 times a year, 20 years. So there you go, 240. Remember, initially there's nothing in the account, right? There's nothing in the account starting with. So PV, present value, present meaning now, that's 0. I know some problems, I think what they'll do, at least in the textbook, they'll say, suppose they'll add on the condition that initially you'll have a certain amount in the account to begin with. In that case, you would set PV to be whatever's the starting amount in the account. In this case, it's 0 though. But if there's some kind of initial deposit, say I don't know, let's say somehow you were able to put in $100,000 initially, then this whole thing started where you're making monthly deposits. PV would be $100,000 in that case. You know, the amount that's in there initially, but in this case, there's nothing in there by assumption. And P/Y here, C/Y, they're both equal to 12 because again, this is how often the account is being compounded. You could also think of it as how often we're making deposits. Or when we get to the withdrawals, it's how often we're taking money out of the account. But they're both always equal with us. Theoretically, they don't have to be, but for us, they're always equal. And in this case, they're equal to 12. So let's go to our TVM solver. All right, so we're going to enter in the data. Okay. So again, our so capital N was 240. Okay. You could actually do 12 times 20, which is 240. I, we said it was 10. PV, there's nothing in there initially. PMT we're looking for. FV is 500,000. There we go. Both of these are equal to 12. Now remember, what you want to do is you're looking for PMT. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so we solve for that. You will get a negative amount because remember, negative meaning it's a cash outflow, meaning the money's going away from you. Even though you're putting the money into an account that's yours, it's still technically negative though, the value. So we get this number here. But it's really the same as what we got before, $658.44, you know, rounded to 2 decimal places. But that's what we get here. Are there any questions on the TVM solver here? Okay, so let's keep going with the problem. All right. Okay, so let me get back to the notes. Here we go. Okay, so here again, we got the same amount. Even though it came up negative, but again, you know, we know the interpretation of that. All right. So here, right, we got our A, which is again our monthly deposit. Now for B, we want to know how much money in total we will put into the account. It's just like before. $658 a month, right? And this is going on for 20 years. So we have $658 per month. And there are 12 months in a year, right? So these units cancel. Even though months is plural, month here is not. It's singular, I mean, but they still cancel. 12 months per year times 20 years. So these units cancel. And so we end up with $658.44 times 12 times 20, which is equal to this. This is how much we put in to the account. That's how much we put into the account. Okay. And whatever is in the account that didn't come from us came from the interest. So we subtract just like before, right? We know there's $500,000 in there. Again, this is all after 20 years. This came from us. So we subtract that off. And whatever is left over was the interest. And that's what this is. As you can see. $500,000, we subtracted off the amount that came from us. This is the interest. That's what's left over. Are there any questions on this? Okay. All right, so the next one I was going to have everyone try. You know, you could give it a shot. You could use that TVM solver, or you can use the formula, okay? You know, hold on. Yeah, here we go. So, you know, either one is right. But here we have $800,000. This is going on for 30 years, okay? The account is earning 6% interest here. So I want everyone to try this out for about, you know, work on it for about 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, okay? I'm gonna pause the recording. I'll set my timer as well.